Okay, so what we'd like to do next is get some information about what department is the best department to work for. And that's really based on salary. So we'd like to find the department that pays the best overall salary. So to do that, if we just do a select star from department, which is another tuple, I'm sorry, another relation in here, we see we've got, all right, we've got a bunch of department tuples, but that doesn't give me any information about salary. So what I could do is I could say select star from department employee and run that. That's kind of weird too, though, because I'm effectively, when you separate two relations by a comma inside the from clause, you're doing the relational algebra equivalent of a Cartesian product. So that's not really helpful. Every tuple in department gets paired with every tuple in employee. And we can see that happening here. If you look here, department number 10, accounting, New York, that's the department number tuple. And that's merged with King, President, etc. So we got one with King there. Now if we go to the next, go down a little bit more, we see that the department 20 Research Dallas is also connected with King or merged with King. So, and that's going to happen for every department in the department relation and every employee in the employee relation. So we want to restrict it a little bit more and say where department dot department number is equal to employee dot department number. All right, that makes a little more sense. Now if we run that, okay, that's much better. Now what we have is the department number tuples merged with the employee tuples for the employees that are in that department. Okay, so a much more restricted list. Okay, so back to the question. What I'd really like to be able to do is I'd like to be able to find out what employees or what department pays the best. So the way you can do that is by using an aggregate operator, the average salary. But if I were to just say average salary here and run this, I'm not going to get my answer. I'm going to get the average salary for all the employees in all the departments. What I really want to know is what the average salary is in each department. Okay, so I can find that out by using the group by clause. So the way you do that is you say group by department, department number. Okay, so what it's going to do is I'm saying that I want the average salary aggregate operator to be applied to, let me just make this a little bit cleaner here. I want the average salary operator to be applied to groups of tuples that are grouped by the department number. So for every salary in the accounting department, we're going to take the salaries, sum them up, and compute an average. For every salary in the sales department, we're going to do the same thing. So let's run this query and see what happens. Oops. Try that again. Okay, so we see that there are three average salaries. Interesting. So, but we don't really know what departments they're associated with. So I'm going to say this, department number, department.department number. Okay, and run this again. Okay, that's cool. So now what I have is each department number and the average salary. But still, it's not quite right because I'd really like to know the name of the department as well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll change this to dname, and I'll change this to dname, And now what I'm saying is give me the department number and department name and average salary grouped by department name. It's pretty much the same thing as department number, except it's a stringified English version of the department number, the department name. Let's run it again. Okay, now this is more interesting. So I can see I've got the accounting department, the research department, and the sales department. And it looks like the accounting department has the highest average salary, which makes a lot of sense. It's the accounting department. They're the ones that take care of the money. Okay. Now, let's say that you were interested in, let's say that you have a table, but you can't remember what all the attributes are associated with the table. Well, one way that you can do that is you can go over here to the left and expand the table and look at the columns associated with the table, and you can see that we've got a department number, a department name, and a location associated with department. If you didn't have this fancy browser over here on the left, there's still a way to do it. Another way we could find out a department is say select star from department. Okay. So now I see department number, department name, and location. So I get some idea of what the types of values are that are associated with the attributes for tuples in department. There's a third way that you can do it, and that's through DSC. If you were in class with me, I was struggling to remember this in class, but here you go. If you say DSC and a table name, and then you hit run. Looks like it's still not working. Oh, here we go. It says invalid. All right, so let's try this. Select star from user catalog. This will give you a list of tables that you are able to access. So these are the tables that you're able to access. These are all the tables that were imported when we ran the that large SQL query at the beginning, towards the beginning of the set of videos with Toad that explained basics of using things with Oracle. Okay. Let me try one other thing here. I'm really bummed about this DESC. I'd really like to be able to use that. So let's try describe instead. Describe department. Nope. It says it's an invalid SQL statement. Bummer. Okay, so it doesn't look like describe works within Toad. If you're using a command line version of Access to Oracle, which is called SQL Plus, and you can download and mess around with it if you don't want to use Toad, you would be able to run the describe command. That would work. Okay, well, that's it for this set of videos for kind of a quick introduction to Oracle. And we'll pick this up again in class on Monday.